What's going on, everyone? That's right, we finally made it. It's the end of the semester, and this is the last Twitch stream. Last time you have to look at my ugly tactical mug on this platform. That's right, Reach is back, baby. And today we're talking guns. Airsoft guns, that is. I wouldn't know my way around a real firearm because I'm half a man. Now, I'll be honest, I had some other plans for this podcast tonight, but my life's falling apart. But you know what they say? Even at the end of the world, you still have to submit your finals on time. So, we've got, let me get my OBS here set up. We've got a nice show planned out for tonight. We're starting at 8:20, we're going for an hour. So, I'm going to get my list ready. I got some talking points. So, for those of you that did not check in on the stream last week, or 2 weeks ago, I should say, our objective is to present a pitch for a show that we could market to a weekly audience, or something that we could do on the weekly basis. So I'm going to be taking questions in the chat if anybody does show up. Put a little thing out on Instagram, so if anybody wants to pop on over and check it out, we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be playing some. I'm just honestly going to be grinding some Pokemon in the background. But yeah, what the goal for today is we're going to talk about Airsoft stuff. Just kind of like we did for the practice last week. We are going to just kind of talk about various aspects of the sport, different guns and stuff like that. For anybody that is familiar with the randomized weapon generator, we are going to be doing that again. It should be pretty fun. We're going for an hour, so we're going to go till 9:20. Let's get it on. I'm going to kill this. So our first suggested talking point of the evening. My favorite Airsoft loadout. My favorite way to play. So right now I'm actually just I'm grinding for the Elite Four here. I'm trying to get my Survivor leveled up. So my favorite Airsoft loadout is actually the one that I'm wearing right now. So I actually built this one to kind of do every thing in the book. Now I don't have my gloves on so I can play games, but yeah. So this loadout is kind of my heavy milsim loadout. It's a Condor Mop C, so it's a fairly affordable piece of equipment. It's a very modular piece of equipment. You can see actually. It has a belt that goes around the side that can be removed, so you can wear it. It's just kind of like a JPC style jumpable plate carrier. It's a very, very versatile piece of equipment. I'm a big fan of it. I got some replica SHS, I think that's what it is, mag pouches. They're kind of like a bungee type thing. They got these bungee straps on top. Carry M4 mag pouches. They can be very quickly replaced because they actually don't have any clips. They hold them into place. It's actually just a ribbon that runs through and holds its place, which I actually was very skeptical of when I first started using them, but they performed really well. I've also got a medic pouch right here that's just for carrying band-aids and pens and stuff like that I might need to use during like a milsim or whatever. Almost a little bit crooked there. Yeah, so it basically all is built around this rig. I also have a backpack on the back that is just kind of used for carrying like a water bladder or extra ammunition, magazines, stuff like that. Ooh, speaking of another really cool thing is I got some a mag pouch back there for buddy magazine. So if a friend needs to reload in the field, they can just reach on back and grab a fresh magazine out of yours truly's. But yeah, my favorite way to play, I've really been enjoying some CQB recently. I really like going in fast, going in fast and going in hard, and just trying to rip it up. It's really, honestly, like I was a big fan of like Woodsoft for a really long time. Just playing in the woods. I was actually a huge sniper. I was really into the whole sneaking aspect. And in recent years, honestly, I've wanted to kind of pick it up, kind of get more into the action. Get some more get more in the middle of the fight instead of sitting on the outside. But yeah, I've really been enjoying some CQB. I actually brought my my P90 here. Now, this is the gun that I've been using a lot for. Let me set this to 1. This is the gun that I've been using a lot recently. You can see got my orange tip on there. This is a PDW P90. You probably recognize this from pretty much every sci-fi movie ever. Has a 50-round detachable mid-cap magazine. I believe actually this might actually hold more than 50 rounds. The real ones are 50 rounds, but you see it's kind of unconventional. It doesn't really fit in one of these mag pouches. The one thing I was actually kind of skeptical about using this kind of weapon system before, but I've been using it pretty consistently for the past couple of months, and I gotta tell you, this thing is awesome. This is a Marui, so you know it's straight from Japan. Marui makes some of the best AEGs out there, and the thing is a freaking beast up close. I don't have a battery in it. I'll give you an example of the rate of fire, but kind of ticks me off about this, as you can see, there's not a ton of space to store a battery in there. I usually have to use a very small. This isn't modified for Deans or anything like that, so I typically don't use lipos, so there is not a ton of space for the batteries, which makes it a little bit difficult to run. But it's awesome. It's got a really nice rate of fire. It's really snappy, very compact, very easy to shoulder. You can see it's super small. It's about 2 feet long. Actually, probably smaller than that, but yeah, it's a super comfortable gun. I've got a little replica aim point on there. You can see it's a pretty basic setup. I really like it. Mainly, I mean, honestly, the P90 just looks cool. So typically, when I'm going in to play CQB, I'm just going fast and going hard. I just like to get the drop on people. I'm not super into the whole like dominate your enemies. I'm not super into that, but I feel like a lot of airsofters that I play with sometimes are very into like the whole like we just got to get in there and we got to crush them and we got to kick their ass, and I'm like, just a game, guys. We're just trying to have fun. Plus, a lot of the times at the CQB field, a lot of people are pretty young that play there, so I like to try and leave a good impression. Ooh. So, in the chat, is the P90 better for CQB playing in the woods? Also, the P90 looks insane. Lol. The P90 is best suited for urban combat in real life and in airsoft. Typically, the P90 is a dedicated, urban warfare package. It's basically the positioning of the magazine is intended for a with a typical rifle, you'd have a magazine hanging off of it. This is basically super close to the gun. It just kind of folds directly into it. So there's not really a whole lot hanging off of the gun. There's nothing to really snag on anything. It's all intended to keep everything as close to the gun as possible, to keep it very small and very compact and close to your body. So you don't have to worry about all of this extra stuff hanging off of your gun. And typically going around corners and going through rooms and stuff like that, a shorter barrel is going to lend better to that. It's going to make it easier. You can watch the simulacrum video and see. Oh, what's this? Kevin's bringing the tunes. You can watch the simulacrum video. Actually, no, it's not too bad. So the simulacrum video, that's where I'm kicking ass in the CQB arena. But I'm using this gun, and you can see it comes around corners so smoothly. There's really just nothing to hold it back. Additionally, another thing about this, the last thing I'll say is the bullpup configuration lets you maintain the length of a barrel, because normally you have a regular rifle. I have the 50 cal back here, which is not a great example because that's just a gigantic gun. But normally with a 50, or not a 50 cal, but with a standard configuration rifle, you would have your magazine, and then you have your magazine, and then you have your barrel extending from here. With a bullpup, you can basically have your magazine. Yeah, you have your magazine behind your trigger assembly right here, which is basically the main difference between a regular rifle and a bullpup. So with your magazine behind the main trigger assembly, you can basically move your entire barrel assembly backwards, and then you have the maintained accuracy of a longer barrel with, you know, a smaller package overall. So the P90 is definitely intended for close combat and urban warfare, stuff like that. All right, so let's go over to, let me get this set up, to the gun spin of the evening. Okay, so here we go. We have two wheels. We have one wheel that is dedicated to different types of guns. That I try to get guns that usually show up in Airsoft. So we've got these different types of Airsoft gun setups, and then we have a second wheel that's dedicated to different like upgrades, not necessarily upgrades, but different like things that could modify the weapon in a certain way. Like for example, we've got like a beta magazine, which is, you know, a huge high capacity magazine, and we're basically going to pick one gun. We're going to spin this wheel for one gun, and once we have that gun, we're going to spin the other wheel, and we're going to have to figure out how to fit the different upgrades onto this gun and how we would use it in an Airsoft scenario. So for the first time that we did this, it was I did one gun and one upgrade, and I think today, since, you know, it's our big finale, we're gonna do one gun and two upgrades. So for a total of 3 options. So we're gonna have to figure out this. I'm hoping for some crazy crap, because a lot of this stuff, a lot of it just doesn't go together. So let's just get it on. It's so loud. We got the WA2K. All right. So the WA2K. Well, I'll pull up a picture after this. So actually, you know, no, I lied. I'm gonna do that right now. WA2000. The WA2000 is actually another bullpup firearm. This one, yeah, you can see right there. Pretty popular gun in, I believe it's Austrian, made by Walther. Yeah, it's basically a sniper rifle. It's kind of a rare. It's definitely a rare gun to see on the Airsoft field, but they do exist. Asahi made some, and I believe there was actually another there's another round of these that actually just came out not too long ago. So it does exist in the Airsoft world. Let's give it a spin for the second one. Bolt action. Okay, so the first one is a bolt action WA2000. So funny that actually popped up. So an interesting thing about the WA2000 was when it was originally made, I believe, no, actually that's a lie. The Ares released a WA2000 that was exclusively bolt action. Yeah, this one. So the Ares WA2000 is actually a spring sniper rifle. So in real life, I believe only like there's something like 2,000 of these exist in real life. Like, I think they were a super limited run. They're incredibly expensive, and I think most of them are in private collections nowadays. But this one is it was originally made as a spring sniper rifle. So technically, according to our according to the parameters that we have to follow, we've already got one of them down. So let's roll the second one. What is our modification here? Oh my God! All right. So see, and now you can see how this is a little bit of an issue. So an LMG, that stands for light machine gun. Some people say large machine gun, but I believe it stands for light. So a light machine gun is typically a machine gun devoted towards suppressing enemies with you know, overwhelming firepower. Typically characterized by having a very large magazine, like a squad automatic weapon, like a 249. I actually don't have one of those. I would bring it on stream for you to see, but yeah, I don't actually have one. They're basically guns with big magazines that have a very high rate of fire and are used to suppress enemies. Now, they're very popular in Airsoft. I know J-Dan, who's a guy that I play with sometimes, he likes to run a 249. But okay, so here's the problem: is it's near impossible to have a large, geez, it's nearly impossible to have a light machine gun that is bolt action. It's not too insane to say, hey, we could make a WA2K, an Ares WA2K into a light machine gun. So here, okay, let me do some finagling. So we've technically already achieved the level that we wanted to with the bolt action, right? Because we picked an Ares WA2K, which is a bolt action rifle initially, right? So all we need to do is convert it so that it's a light machine gun, right? It's my damn game, so that's what we're doing for this. So how are we gonna do it? I'll tell you right now. So let me look at my picture of this. My boy Bingo Airsoft, he makes custom Polar Star weapons, and I don't think it would be too much to ask to have Bingo convert one of these Ares WA2Ks into a Polar Star. I think, as a matter of fact, it would actually be pretty dang easy. Right there, you can see this little that little tube coming out the end of the gun is an air connection. So that basically connects to a solenoid that you would be able to pump out a ton of rounds, a ton of rounds on. Yeah, so you'd basically be able to crank the ROF on one of these. You'd probably want to switch the magazine because the magazine looks like it's a low capacity magazine. You probably have to get a custom one, maybe an electric winding one, which it's not going to be cheap. This whole setup probably costs close to $700 to $800, I would guess. All in all, that's not including custom work because the gun itself is extremely expensive. But yeah, it's not too crazy to actually picture a WA2K that would be capable of squad suppression. Booyah. Okay. So let's move on. So what's our next talking point? Let's check it out. Oh, okay. So my next talking point is the new shotgun that I actually got. So you can kind of see here, I got guns all over the place here. So there's your orange tip. This is the new fob arm. Kind of too big to show on screen here. Italian tri-shot shotgun. Let me try and get the little. There we go. Yeah, so it is a triple barrel. What is this music? This music's killing me right now. Let me go back in here. Woo! There we go. Yeah, I think you can still hear it. So this is a tri-shot airsoft shotgun. Basically uses replica shotgun shells. You can see this is where your BBs go. They go in there. These hold 30 rounds each, and so when you pump your shotgun, you get 3 BBs in 3 different barrels. I don't know if you can see in there. You probably can't. There's basically 3 barrels in there, and so when you pump the gun, you get 3 barrels or 3 BBs in your chambers. And so when you pull the trigger, this is not loaded, so I'm just gonna put it on the ground. You can't. It's actually pretty loud. You basically get 3 BBs to come out at a time. So it's a really good gun for CQB. That's what I picked it up for. Let me actually just go back to 1 because yeah, it's pretty cool. It has, I'm not gonna show you because I have a rail cover on the bottom. It has an undermounted rail for you. Kind of see that. Oh, I'm trying to get used to this whole webcam here. So it's got an undermounted rail, so you can actually put a foregrip on there. So if you wanted to carry it like that and then pump it. I think this is actually, it's a little bit flimsy. It doesn't wobble at all, but it's made of plastic, and I really wouldn't trust it because I like to keep my guns. I like my. It's okay if my guns get beat up, but I don't like them to. I don't like them to get like broken. Like if anything like snaps off my gun or anything gets all cracked, I'm not a big fan of that. So I typically try and keep stuff like that rail covered up. That's why I picked up, I had a couple of extra rail covers laying around. So pop that on there, and you're ready to go. Yeah, and it actually works as a nice little hand stop too. I was messing around with this thing today, and you know it's pretty fun to cock it and shoot it, and I think that actually looks pretty cool too with the little like tab on there. So yeah, it's pretty light. I think I put a review of this on Reddit. I'll put the safety on. I put a review on this on Reddit, and I think I kind of lied to somebody. I told them it was about 6 pounds. I think that's actually a little bit of an exaggeration. It weighs more around 5 pounds. It's a decent weight for a plastic gun. It definitely feels it feels like a toy. I'm super excited about it though because it was just released. It's got a very cool kind of design to it with these heat vents on this kind of barrel shroud thing that's coming up here. You can actually see kind of through there. The barrel, yeah, you can see a little bit there. If you look on the second heat vent, you can see the barrel actually runs all the way through the gun. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the Desert Tan. It comes in 3 different sizes. Here, let me move off real quick. This is one of the promotional things that it came with. It comes in 3 different sizes. Let me see without the glare there. So you got a long, like a full-length barrel, like rifle variant. You have the CQB variant, which is the one that I have, and then you have a stockless short-barreled variant, which is basically the ultimate CQB. I was actually going to pick that one up, but I used to have a shotgun like that, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try something new. I want to try one with full stock. Speaking of the stock, it's a little bit. I was kind of unsure of this thing. It's a little bit cheap. The plastic doesn't give super easily, but you know, it works. It's got a nice rubber butt pad. You can see. Which is not bad, you know, for a cheap shotgun. I believe this was around $80. Actually, it might have been cheaper than that, but I think it was around $80. For a cheaper gun, I would not expect them to have a rubber butt pad on there. That's actually I was pretty impressed by that. Comes with fiber optic sights. Your front one is you can see the little red on there. That's a nice fiber optic. Little diode type thing in there. They're like I said, it's pretty cheap plastic, but it looks good. It feels pretty good to aim with. Your back side is a shotgun ring. You can kind of see. Let me try and get it closer here. You can kind of see. The light's gonna give me an issue. Yeah, so you got 2 little fiber optic green back there. And the shotgun sight itself is a ring sight. You can kind of see right there. Whew. Yeah. So the stock kind of reminds me of the SIG. You've got a nice grip. It's definitely made of plastic, but it doesn't have any wobble. There's no wobble at all, which is surprising for a gun like this. It's got a decent texture on it. I really actually like the way it feels. It's kind of that soft, rubberized texture that's on there. I'm not a huge fan of rubber, but you know it does the job. I'm actually a really big fan of the grip. It feels really comfortable to hold. It looks nice as well. You got your trigger guard there. You have kind of a small trigger, and of course you can kind of see that little button right there. That's your safety. Got a nice click to it. Not bad. There, this is your. Let me see if I can catch that lighting in. Yeah, so right here is your magazine, or I guess that you would call it your feed gate ejection. So that's how you feed your shells in. So you take this is an empty shell. These are just standard tri-shot shells, the same ones that work with the UTG models, if you're familiar with those. Pop that in there. Close it up. You're ready to go. Basically, just one pump will load 3 BBs into the barrels, like I said. Oh, got the safety on. And it just pops out. And you can just drop the shell right on the floor, just like that. Yeah, so all in all, it's a pretty nice gun. I'm really a big fan of the muzzle brake, and it's made of plastic, but it looks cool. That's the important part to me. You know, I'm not going to really be banging this thing into walls or anything. My big complaint, it's also got some really nice trademarks on it. The dust cover is not real. That's pretty common with tri-shots, especially the cheaper ones. But you know, it's just kind of a bummer because I'm not a huge stickler for realism, but it just looks kind of lame. Yeah, some nice trades on there. You got the Fob Arm, which is an Italian Fob Arm Professional. You got the Fob Arm Professional tag right there on your stock. Nice texturing on the grip. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, the one thing that I don't like are these sling points on the other side of the gun. These guys, these sling points suck. They're made of really, really cheap, flimsy plastic, and they are primed to snap off. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That's the worst part about this thing. But everything else is pretty dope. I'm definitely pretty jazzed to use this at the CQB field coming up. The top rail can actually be removed as well to reveal a second set of sights. This is a rear sight, and this little portion down here is a front sight. So you can actually remove this if you don't want to use your top rail. But yeah, all in all, pretty dope gun. I'm going to have a review of this actually up on my channel pretty soon. So yeah, stand by. I'm pretty pleased with it. I want to get some more field time with it before I upload anything too crazy. So one thing that I want to do is I might upload this on YouTube to see if people actually would like something like this. What I would really like to do is have guests on a weekly basis. I think that would be cool. I think it would be cool to have like new guests in. I was planning on having somebody tonight, but didn't end up working out. So let's go back to the notes. See what we're looking at. We're gonna do another gun spin. Let's check it out. All right, let's do another one. Skorpion. Okay, that's a personal defense weapon from the Czech Republic. I'm actually not too familiar with it, but yeah. Okay. So now we're gonna do another spin. Sniper rifle! Sweet God! Alright, it's not impossible. And hope for a, Did I get sniper rifle again? Okay. We're gonna keep spinning until we get something other than LMG or sniper rifle. The short barrel. Okay. So a Skorpion actually already has a very short barrel. Let me look at a picture of one. Like I'm thinking of like a KWA Skorpion. And see, Skorpion is kind of a very small weapon platform. It's basically used for personal defense. I'm actually not sure who uses it. Pretty common sight in the Airsoft community. There's a lot of people that run these. I've seen a bunch of them at swap meets and stuff. People seem to always be trying to get rid of them. They come in electric and in gas. I think KWA, like I said, KWA makes a Skorpion. So I'm going to try and challenge myself. So it has a very short barrel. We're basically going to say we're going to have to chop that barrel off. The problem is we got to make it a sniper rifle somehow. So typically the only answer for this is to put, like I said, put an HPA kit inside of it. Let me see if I can get a picture. What's one that'll work? Like a Polar Star Jack is the first one that comes to mind. No, this is not right. Or like a Hydra would work. So it's basically a really small, yeah. So it's basically a really small piece of equipment that you put into your your gun's gearbox. Now I'm almost positive that you'd be able to fit one of these into a Skorpion. I'm not sure what the feed system looks like, but you'd almost definitely be able to fit like a Polar Star Jack or a Hydra system into it. And so what you'd have to do is you'd have to chop that barrel, because that's our prerogative here, and you just have to get an extremely like highly polished like Orga or something like that, like an Orga barrel, and just crank it. Just, you know, you just have to have like super high. You'd have to have like super high like pressure in there to try and get the FPS up so you'd be able to carry those shots out. Now, I don't think it's impossible. Calling it a sniper rifle might be a lot. Like you definitely have to get like a scope rig for it, like a scope mount, and put a big old, just a gigantic. We're talking a big scope on there just for the hell of it. And then you'd have to, you know, pull that stock out and, you know, just have your little. Let me go back to the Skorpion. Let me see if they even have one with a scope. No, that's an actual scope. I know the Skorpion. The Skorpion, first time... Oh, that's not... Okay. This is not what we're looking for. That's not a Skorpion. That's not a submachine gun. There it is. That's a very low-res picture. But yeah. It's not impossible. You basically just have to slap a big old scope on there, so you'd be able to engage targets from a high distance. You'd have to HPA it so that you could have a consistent fire rate, and then you'd also have to get a really high-quality barrel in there to get it really pushing that distance. I think that's the best I can do for you. All right, let's move on. The next one. So we're gonna be talking ideas for future videos. So as you know, I mainly do. I really like to do YouTube, and recently I've really been hoping to get back into the gameplay scene. I just really I've heard a lot of people saying, "Hey, Reach, my boy, you need to get another camera so we can see where your BBs are, coming from, and where they're going." And I think that's a fair criticism, because right now I only have one camera that I mount right here, and you don't really get a great idea of where the camera is. You don't really get a great idea of what's going on in the fight, really, because you're seeing me shooting at people, and you're seeing stuff pop up on the screen, but you really can't see what's happening. Now, a lot of professional level editors will use 2 cameras at the bare minimum. Some people use 3. I've actually seen videos where people use four cameras, which is insane to me. I can't imagine trying to keep track of all that. But you get 2 cameras. One of them is mounted on your gun, and then one of them is mounted on your helmet. So you get the first-person view, and then you get the barrel view. So you'd have a camera mounted down here or up here, and off to the side. So every time I would fire, bang, you'd see the BBs fly out of the barrel and where they would go, and if they hit somebody, then you would be able to see that. And so it's just basically it's a little bit more editing, but it's not too serious. You'd basically be able to just be able to get a better idea of what's happening in the basically be able to get a better idea of what's happening in the combat scenario, I guess. So I think my next purchase is probably going to be a Mobius action camera. They're a very small modular camera that you can fit pretty much anywhere, because they're very small, very very compact, and they actually have a kit that you can use to make them zoom. You have them zoom, which is pretty dope. Yeah, so that's probably gonna be my next pickup. I just think I think it would make the videos better, and I really like making gameplay videos, specifically the simulacrum ones. I love those. That's exactly what I want to be making. It's really cool. Yeah, and I think so the fields are a little bit of an issue for me making gameplay videos, because the nature of doing narrative-based gameplay is I think of it as Call of Duty is your guys, the guys in Call of Duty are always flying from one place to the next, and every level looks different. It's that's kind of what I want to represent in my videos, but I only have 3 fields near me, so it's gonna be it's probably, I'm gonna have to find a way to represent different areas, I guess, in the videos if I want to continue to do them narrative-based stuff. I've actually been thinking, I have some other ideas, I might try and do one where, because I know a lot of people have been wanting more XR5 gameplay, which is basically that that white space gun that I have. A lot of people have been hungry to see some gameplay of that gun, and I've been trying to think of a way I could fit it in thematically, and so I've got an idea to use it as a you're thinking of it like a promotion that a weapon manufacturer would put out. It's hey, check out our super cool gun. Maybe you want to use this, and do it more like a commercial. But it's it's an Airsoft gameplay. So I haven't really wrapped my head around entirely how to do that, but I think it would be cool. So that's the plan right now. Yeah, and I'd like to get more sniper gameplay too. The problem with sniper gameplay is like everybody's doing it. Like every other channel has like a sniper. It's always like, oh hey, check out my scope cam video. It's like, yeah, it's cool, but it's like everybody else is doing it. So my whole thing is like I like to play sniper, but it's like, am I really making original content that people want to see? That's the question. Yeah, let me see if I can do this. Nope. Ugh, just back at it again. Just trying to get the Survivor. I want to get Survivor like super leveled up so I can just, because she has some weird she's got some weird stats, and so I really want to get her over leveled for the Elite Four, as you know, with the Pokemon. I've got Night Slash. I've got kind of like a weird setup. I'm going for Jesus, music is intense. I'm going for a like a multi-level build for poison, like a poison based build. Let me check. What's our next talking point? So yeah, I talked about that. Okay, so we're gonna do another gun spin. All right, let's just go with that one. All right, rolling again. A12, L86. No, it's like my least favorite gun. All right, so an L86 is basically a oh, what the heck? L86 is basically the British primary rifle. You see these every once in a while. Maybe this is. Maybe I'm thinking of the L85. I don't remember what I'm thinking of. Yeah, there you go. L86. It's the British like rifle. It's the one that I use. It's widely panned as like the worst assault rifle ever made because it's awkward as hell. And I think it breaks really easily too. I know the A2s are like supposed to be better. I don't know like much about the history of it, but I do know that people like hate these in the firearm community. So now we're gonna go to. Let's find out what we got to do to this thing. LMG? Again? I got so much better stuff on here. This is the last one. We're doing a different one. I'm not doing it because there's like literally a ton of. There's the L86 LSW, which is literally like short barrel. All right, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do that one. That also exists, but that's a little bit more fun. All right, and our second one. It's a high magnification Scop. So a high magnification scope. That's what I meant to say. With a short barrel. It's already like a Battlefield 4 nightmare. And you know what? Just because it's the last one, let's give it another roll. And it's taped to my hands. Hell yeah! All right. We got a gun, an L86, one of these guys, with a high magnification scope, a short barrel, and it's taped to my hands. Let me try and get this in shot here. Okay, so this is basically like the PDW version of the L86. It's like made for like close quarters. As you can see, it's got an insanely short barrel. I think there are actually airsoft versions of this, so this is what we're talking about. This is where we start, okay? This is our base gun. So what we're going to do, we're going to rip that ugly top thing off. We're going to put on a super high magnification scope, like times 12 or something like that. Something crazy, like a big vortex. We're spending more money on that scope than we're spending on the gun. We're slapping that bad boy on there, all right? For the hell of it, we're going to put a huge suppressor on it. Just a massive suppressor. Okay, it's got the short barrel. We got the scope, okay? So what role is this thing playing? You know, we're going to take it out. I honestly think we can run with the regular AEG parts for this. And we're going to take it out into the field, and we're just going to use it like a regular gun. We're going to use it like a regular infantry rifle, or like you know, just use it to play regular games. Maybe even use it as a DMR. I don't know. If the I think it's an ICS, so maybe if the ICS can crank that range, that's what we'll use it for. Yes, but what else can we do? What else can we do to this? What else is going to make this interesting? it's taped to my hands, so I can't put it down. But I think I think that's okay. I think because it's taped to my hands, I just can't put it down. But it's a very light gun, so I'll be okay. I'm gonna be able to, if it was like Betsy over here, it's not gonna be a fun experience. You know what I mean? Because it's like the gun weighs 15, 16 pounds. I'm gonna tire out super fast. I gotta put the gun down sometimes. But with this is like a pretty lightweight gun. I'm picturing like nothing more than like 7 or 8 pounds. Like nothing. It's not gonna be more taxing than that. So I'm thinking that it's probably gonna be pretty easy to lug that thing around all day because it's physically taped to my hands. That's gonna work. We're gonna make that work. Yeah. All right. So our final list of guns. Let's check it out. We had the WA-2000 LMG. So we had an HPA'd Asahi WA-2000 that was intended to be bolt action, but actually was turned into an LMG. We have the Skorpion sniper rifle with a short barrel. We HPA'd that one so that it has more consistent airflow, and then also has a really high precision barrel in it, as well as a giant scope. And then we have the L85. Oop, that's the wrong button. L85 PDW with a scope and taped to my hands. That's great. That's not the right word. Taped to my hands. Okay, so now our final goal is to decide which one of these is the best. Which one of these guns is the best? What's the best one that we're going to use for a game? What are we going to do? How are we? We're gonna take this thing out to a game. Which one do I pick to go to a game? They're all pretty bad, I would say, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the WA-2K LMG. Okay, and here's my thinking is it looks awesome. It's a WA-2000. The thing looks great, but it's also got the ability to crank the ROF, really push the rate of fire, and engage a lot of enemies. I think that's the one I'm going to go with. It's a standard rifle configuration, so I'm going to be able to roll with that pretty easily. I think that's a fair trade-off, quite frankly. Yeah, so the WA-2K is the gun that we're going to pick. That's the one we're going to roll with. That's the idea for the Tacti-Cast. That's basically what we would do on a weekly basis. Is we would come in here for an hour, just kind of hang out, shoot the shit, and talk about airsoft guns. Maybe other stuff too. I'm open to anything. I do realize airsoft is kind of a niche community, so not a lot of people, especially not on Twitch, are super affiliated with it, or would really find something to gain from it. But I think it's just kind of fun to hang out and talk about it. Yeah, I think if anybody expresses interest in this in the future, I'm actually gonna save this stream. I'm gonna save this one. I haven't saved any of the other ones, but I'm gonna save this one. And if anybody wants to continue this, or even maybe guest star, let me turn this. But yeah, if anybody would want to come on here and just kind of hang out with me, talk about guns, talk about Pokemon and stuff like that, I think it would be really awesome. I'd actually, I'm kind of partial to this format. I really like it. I think if we could get some more people showing up in here, submitting questions and stuff like that, I think it would be really cool. To start like kind of a cool discussion on a weekly basis. I think it would be really dope. Yeah, and we could even play like Arma or something like that. I really do hope to get a better computer right now. I've got a MacBook, which I basically just use for school. And it's really not great for this. It's really not great for this. You can see it's kind of chugging right now. I got a really low frame rate on the on Pokemon, unfortunately, but gotta kind of deal with that with my current rig. But yeah, I think it would be cool to do. I know like a lot of airsoft guys will upload military game footage, stuff like that. I'm not super into that necessarily, but I think it would be fun. I like to play games like Counter-Strike, Arma, stuff like that. I think that's cool. It's really cool. I shouldn't say. I don't play Arma. I just watch Arma gameplay because and then just like gaze longingly at it because I can never run. I can never hope to run that on here. I don't even think Arma's Mac compatible, but yeah, it's just I really do want to get a more powerful rig so I can kind of like play games and stuff like that. I know it's like, ooh, a gaming channel. That's the lamest thing I've ever heard of. That's not really what I would use it for. I mainly just want to use it for streaming. That's the big idea. Streaming's pretty fun. I think this semester I've really gained a better respect for it as an art form and as a hobby. I think it's pretty dope. The only unfortunate thing is I don't think Airsoft has a huge future for streaming. I think I've seen a couple of guys have live streamed Airsoft gameplay from their helmets as they're recording it live, which I think is dope. I don't necessarily know the kind of stuff that I would need to do that. I've seen, other than like doing it from a phone, I know there are cases that you can hook to your rig to have to basically live stream for your phone, like while it's on your chest and stuff. We've been invaded by two fine-looking hounds. They're over there. But yeah, I think it would be cool to live stream Airsoft gameplay. I don't know how, there wouldn't be a ton of audience interaction opportunities, which is kind of lame. I think that's one of the big things that Twitch offers is audience interaction to a new kind of degree that is not really seen in other medias. Especially on YouTube, I can respond to comments, but it's not the same as talking to somebody in real time, which is kind of cool about Twitch because you really do get to feel like you are in the moment, you are talking to your favorite creator or something like that. Which I think that's a little bit much to say for me, but yeah, it's pretty cool. And so hopefully we're gonna get Dear Marsha here to level 57. It's a big win for us. I've been sitting in here and giving Bennett the finger for about an hour here. But yeah, I'll be honest. Finals put a little bit of a jam in my upload schedule. I'm hopefully gonna be back and uploading on a regular basis this coming break. I do have an internship that I'm working on, but that should not interfere with the upload schedule because they don't take a ton of time to film. So, and I can usually edit them in pieces. So, I'm planning on getting a fob arm review for this guy coming up soon. It should be cool. I'm pretty stoked about that gun. I think it's great. Yeah, so that's the current plan. Basically, get that all set up. Hopefully, I'm gonna have another gameplay video out in the next couple weeks. That would be really awesome. Because I really want to get more Simulacrum going. I want to get that storyline moving. I got a lot of plans for it. I think it would be really cool to get that set up. This cursed Bennett just killed Marsha right after we got to level 57. So we're gonna pull out Walter, the slowest boy in the bank. Oh! Oh yeah! Jeez, that was a monstrous hit. I think that's gonna kill Water Spout for me because Water Spout relies on the yeah. Crap. Someone to try and get the drop on this guy. Thing about Wailord is he's got a really high health pool, but an incredibly small, incredibly low defense. So you'll get like a hit that just does hundreds of damage, and he's like, it's kind of frustrating because it's like you feel like you've got this huge tank of a Pokemon, and he kind of sucks, honestly, in the defense category. Yeah. But I'm actually going to do a review for this guy, too. This is the Hater. Been on my holster the whole time. This is the Hater Elite Force CQB revolver. It's pretty cool. I've been using it a lot, so I can actually give a detailed review, combat analysis. This is the disc that you reload your gun with, which is kind of cool. There's no cylinder. It's just this disc. that you pop into place. I got a laser on there too, which is kind of cool. Yeah, single double action. It's kind of neat. You can also decock it like a regular revolver, which is pretty cool. Safety's in the grip. CO2 goes in the grip as well. You can see the kind of like screw there. There's a top mounted rail. And also a bottom mounted rail, which is where I had that laser. That little push laser. But yeah, it's a nice little gun. Good for CQB, stuff like that. I think it's pretty pretty rad. I've enjoyed using it. It always feels good to blast somebody with it because it shoots a big puff of air out every time you pull the trigger. So yeah, it's pretty dope. I'm actually gonna start wrapping up here. It's been about an hour, so anybody that stopped by, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you. Let's see if I got any final comments. Nope, looks like that's the game, everybody. So yeah, I'm probably gonna put this up on YouTube. Maybe I think that I've been saying that all semester, but I think I might actually post this one just because this is kind of the format that I would want to do. I'll probably cut the end of this out, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I think it's pretty fun. Anybody that stopped by, I really appreciate you coming in to see what's going on. Professor Phil, thanks for teaching me how to stream. I really appreciate it. It's a new thing that I think I'm gonna try. I think I'm gonna give it a shot even after the class is over. So yes, let me kill this incredibly powerful Go Lurk real quick, and then I'll give you a proper goodbye. Should this be the last stream? It was a good fight. We had a good run. Yeah, he knows Earthquake. That's gonna knock me out. Yeah, that's about right. A fitting end. Try and get these guys leveled up. I think Marsha's the highest level right now. I think, well, yeah, she's even got a little bit of an edge on there. I actually caught one of these in hopes that I could use them later. They're kind of cool Pokemon. Go Lurk. Alright. Well, everybody, yeah, thanks for a great semester. Thanks for anybody that came by. Appreciate you, and I will see you, hopefully, pretty soon. You can always check out Callsign Reach on YouTube at youtube.com/callsignreach for all of your Airsoft tactical equipment reviews and corporate meddling. Yes, my name is Reach, and that's the game, everybody. I'll see you next time.